Yo, 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 we are back again on the Boundless Hour for the Beef Part 2. We got Kane back in the building today. We're over here with Leo G as well and Jay Moses.
I was on vacation.
Uh-oh.
I think his mic is off.
Yeah, it's off.
Which, it might be good for the rest of the show, honestly. Might be, oh, you turned it off.
Wow.
Thanks, Moses.
Wow.
You helped me fix it. Thanks, Moses. I'm proud of you.
Don't blame me, man. Don't blame me. Oh, my sound went away, too.
I was back from vacation, so I'm back now.
Right. Anyways, beef.
Yeah.
Beef segment, we back.
Part two.
Last week, we had a pretty good show. It was pretty awesome. We went through mainly 90s beefs. Your mic is on. I can hear you. I can hear you. You probably just can't hear yourself.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. That's cool. No, it's fine. It's fine. If you can, no, don't turn it up. It's fine.
No,
we're
you can
good.
hear yourself now.
All right, there we go. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So last week we went through 90s beefs, mainly 90s beefs
For the most part, yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah, you
good.
guys held it down. You did your job.
You, however, you were at a podcast. I swear to God,
Yes, I
must
was.
smack these people, man.
Put your phone on mute.
Yeah, well,
You're right.
Well, while you're doing that, what was his podcast? I mean, what?
I went to the Joe Budden podcast live.
How'd that go, man? What'd you learn? What'd you see?
It was like 3,000 freaking people in that damn place, bro. But
What
it was
is-
nice. It was nice.
What does he talk about, really? Because I've never watched a Joe Budden
He
podcast, so
talks about like pretty much hip hop. Pretty much that's all it is. It's like hip hop and what happens in the world.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope.
It's 3,000
It's not the Balance Hour though, so
people. But it was a lot of freaking people. My wife actually had a bad seat. Just to point
How
that
so?
out. She had a big guy sit like right in front of her.
Y'all should have switched
Oh,
seats,
that
man. You
sucks.
asshole.
I said,
Anyway.
"Do you want to switch seats?" She said, "No." So,
Damn.
yeah.
So, anyways, peace, man.
He
We
was sweaty too.
He's over here watching the sweat drip on the back of his neck rolls and
Damn, that's
It was disgusting.
So, beefs, man. We coming back up to the early 2000s. We doing beefs from the early 2000s, man. And in the early 2000s, man, it got popping, dude. It got
It did.
crazy.
It did, yeah.
People think that as soon as the 90s ended, that violence
was it.
ended. No.
Nah, man.
No, dude.
It continued.
It went way
continued
off,
for
bro.
sure, yeah.
It went crazy.
It
So
picked straight up. It went wild.
one of the early, I don't even know if this is it is 2000s. The Jay-Z and Nas beef that you brought.
It's 99. It ended in the 2000s. It actually started in 96.
Oh,
Is when it actually started. They have
right after
a
Started the same year Pac died.
long beef.
for real. As soon as Pac died, they started beefing.
And it's crazy too because they actually Nas actually had a track called "We Will Survive." I believe the song is called, and he basically talks about Pac and Biggie and how their whole beef ended, right? And he's basically saying in that song, ours is not going to end like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like he's beefing, but he's like not beefing at the same time. It was like a
They didn't want to go
It was
to
a civil beef.
yeah. I mean, look what happened to him at the end of the day.
They
I
kept it straight
mean,
music.
yeah. And these are two great lyricists that just don't need to
Yeah, that was
have the same
unnecessary.
fate, And
But we got two great ass tracks out of it. I'm not gonna lie.
we do, yeah, definitely. I mean, so we picked two of what we believe to be the best tracks within that beef. Their beef was about a decade long, maybe a little longer,
Nas was better.
and and
Just throw that out there.
so we chose from Jay-Z's side. We picked Takeover,
Yup, that was the track.
and
Those are the known ones that really popped it. Like those are the known.
well, yeah. I mean,
songs. Like, no
he
one
had
really knows about the other ones.
I mean, he had a few tracks with Memphis Bleak where they kind of threw some jabs
Little
at
shots at
Nas,
each
and,
other, yeah.
and Jay-Z and Nas kind of just threw jabs at each other over the years, which is cool, whatever. It wasn't violent. It was all in the music, right? Just like
Right.
we talked last week, they kept it all in the music.
Those
From Nas,
Those are the good beefs, by the way.
yeah. From Nas, we chose Ether, which everybody knows that is a hot track.
Destroyed
That-
Jay-Z, bro.
I mean, he is
For real.
a lyricist for real. I mean, they're both great. Don't get me wrong. I love them both. When they squashed their beef and they started doing music together again, man, I was happy.
to this day though, like if you interview Nas, from what I've heard and I've seen, if you interview Nas and ask him about Ether, he just shuts you down. He don't want to
Yeah.
talk about that track. He don't want. He don't want to speak about it.
Because they're cool
Because
now.
they're friends now.
They're cool,
Yeah.
So let's get right into it, man. There's two tracks that we're gonna play in a row. The first one is called "The Takeover" by Jay-Z. And the next one is I like the
Hey,
takeover.
it was a good track, bro. It was a, I mean,
It was a good song until Nas put out his.
it's a good track though. Hey, whether you took the L or not, you could take an L and still put out a good track.
Yeah.
Jay-Z put out a good track.
Honestly, if you had
He went out with a bang, bro.
around that time, Jay-Z even said that once he heard Ether, he thought his career was over. he said, "My career is over. I'm done. I'm never gonna be able to rap again." But it didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
But, it's crazy because so Takeover is a great track.
It is. Don't get me wrong.
No, you can't. It's a good track.
It's all love over here for Jay-Z and Nas, but
this is the Takeover, Jay-Z, and then Nas, Ether.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it, man. Just get started with music.
Boundless Hour.
Yeah.
And y'all not saying that Nas killed Jay-Z.
of course, Nas is one of my favorite artists of all times, but that's
destroyed him, bro.
He killed Jay-Z.
but that's not the point. I mean, it is the point, but our point was that Jay-Z's still good.
He's good,
But yeah,
It was a good track.
It was
He
a
went down
good track.
swinging, but he lost.
Of course. Hey, but that's better than half these other artists where they just go down.
Those last few bars that Nas just said, just killed.
Mm-hmm.
How many Biggie rhymes you gonna use?
How many big rhymes gonna come out your fat lips, bro? That was disrespectful.
Yeah, and it's funny.
Jay-Z got the big ass lips.
It's funny too because everybody does that. They be like, "Look at you, yo,
He looks
big
like
ass Jay-Z
he
lip
look-
having that."
He looks like a camel.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Just gonna throw that out.
Straight disrespect, man.
He's over here trying to start the beef.
We got another damn. I killed all these dudes, bro.
Yeah,
No, man, they got a family, bro.
No,
They come back,
screw it.
bro.
I'm
They
about to
come
bust
back.
out an AK or something.
You gonna have to.
Damn. All right, man. It's the heat, man. Summer's coming.
Yeah.
Summer's coming.
Yeah.
That and you left the door open.
Good.
Man, I need some air, man.
So,
You know we can hear
Honest
you, right?
opinion.
Talking under your breath in the
for
back.
real.
I know, but mine's just mixed.
Everybody's opinion.
Mine is coming right.
That's funny. Everybody's opinion. Let's settle this right now. Who won? Jay-Z or
Nas.
Nas? Exactly. Exactly.
No.
In my book, Nas won. Nas won.
Of course. So, man, you know what? Let's just get on to the next beef. Let's get on to the next beef.
Sorry, Jay.
We got that one. No, of course.
Got it.
I'm agreeing. I don't disagree. I don't
So the next
disagree.
beef is Young Jeezy, and that's you. You brought this. to
Yeah,
the
you
table.
go ahead. You go ahead and talk about that one a little bit.
Okay.
The Snowman.
So, Jeezy versus Snowman. Well, they're both Snowman because they both got Snowman and Gucci got Snowman.
And I remember when Jeezy came out.
That's an ice cream cone.
Whatever, man.
That's ice cream, bro. That's milk. He's talking about snow. He said they both got.
That's hilarious.
Damn.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
That's freaking
Yeah,
funny.
but I wouldn't disrespect Gucci, man.
All right, man.
You know what though?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be biased right now.
He's a killer.
I don't even have to listen to this. I already know Young Jeezy won. Gucci Mane is trash. Hands down, he is trash.
Well,
I'm
but
agree
see,
with Jay on
the
that
thing,
one.
but the thing is, there's only one person who put out a beat. Now, the only one person that put out a song,
Put out a
and that
diss.
was
You know why?
Jeezy.
Because he killed him on that
he
one
knew
song.
he was there.
No.
It was over after that track.
Gucci said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna kill one of your homies." And that's what he did.
Oh.
That doesn't
okay.
win a beef.
Dad
Low key that one. Low key that
Yeah.
wins. Low key
Yeah,
that
that's-
wins.
that's-
All right, so go ahead and explain what started this beef
boy,
between
for real.
Jeezy.
It
Gucci
started
Mane.
okay. So this is a corny ass beef, but it ended.
Yeah, and then there's death, so it wasn't that corny.
But
You know what, man?
No, but
We had some corny ones last week. You should have heard.
That's
But no,
hilarious.
the reason why this one started is because at the time when they did So Icy, I don't know if y'all remember that song, So Icy,
I was in middle school. Man.
Gucci Mane was not famous, and that Jeezy was only one. So Gucci Mane pretty much was like, "It's my song. I'm the famous one. Like fuck Jeezy, fuck out of here." They ended up like yelling at each other on when they saw each other face to face. Then his crew ran into his crew, and then one dude from Jeezy's crew got killed.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
Was that before the track or after?
that was after. So it was one person.
Man, he
trying,
took
it was
it to
one
heart.
person trying to be like, "It's my song. I'm the greatest. Who cares if Jeezy's on it? But you put him on the song to get you famous."
Damn.
So he was
See,
like,
that to me, that's petty though. Like,
yeah.
It is
dude,
petty.
come on now. Like, how you gonna kill somebody over some petty shit like that? Like, to me, nah, I'm sorry.
Keep it all in
But
the
it also,
music.
and also
All in the
they're,
music.
they're,
It's music.
they're
That's all
both,
it is.
They're both
Yeah.
gang members.
I get that, but damn,
Jeezy's a Crip, Gucci's blood.
you in the industry now where
and they're
like,
both from Atlanta, so
see, that's that shit right
I
there.
get it, but okay. well, let's talk game for a second, right? He'll just diss the hell out of you. Nobody wants to mess with him in person.
No, because
But they'll throw. He'll throw.
nigga that's tall as hell.
That's a point.
Not even that. Well, yeah, but not
tall
even
as hell and
you tell
big
me,
ass fucking
nigga,
muscles.
This nigga
But
like 3 of me's put
he's
together. But let me
But he keeps it in the music. Even with his background, he keeps it in the music.
and he can lyrically destroy the
except
hell
for
out
one
of you.
beef. He
Well, yeah, but he didn't kill him. He just beat him up.
he beat the fuck out of.
But
He did.
that was his fault.
Did y'all
He
know
deserved
40
that.
Glock was from Colton?
Yeah, I got his numbers though.
That's freaking crazy.
Oh,
Me and
this
Jay-
guy, he called him, and he answered the phone. Hey, yo, this 40.
I just wanted to make sure it was his number.
It was yeah.
Yeah, dude from Colton, unfortunately, he got his ass beat
He had the
on
most,
camera.
He had the most. It wasn't a ringtone. What was it when you call somebody?
Oh, the callback tones.
He had the most gayest callback.
He on that 2006 shit, right?
He
Damn.
had him and Ray J as a callback tone. It was the most gay.
Oh my.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's how the Jeezy and Gucci
Oh
started.
my. Okay.
And,
Wow. So, okay, that beef happened, and then Jeezy put out a song, and then Gucci Mane never put
Yeah,
out anything.
he just said, "Fuck you, want to put
And that's
out
the
a
next song that we have coming up.
I'm
What
gonna
was,
kill your homie."
what was
That's
it
all
called?
he said.
what was the
Stay
song?
strapped.
Stay
Young
strapped.
Jeezy, stay strapped.
All right, so we
Jeezy
go.
is raw, man. I like Young Jeezy.
I like it. When he came out, dude, Young
Snowman.
Jeezy was dope. He was dope.
Young
So we're going to have to
Jeezy,
play that
Did
track.
any of wait before you do that? Did
Go
any
ahead.
of y'all had the snowman shirt?
No, I didn't.
I did.
The one from the swap meet with diamonds all over it?
Yeah.
I had one.
I had a shirt and they sent me home.
And I had to throw it away because I started missing pieces from it. You know that swap meet quality of things start falling off.
They sent me home because the teachers started understanding what that meant.
Yeah.
You should have went to a white school like I did. They would have never knew what it was. Oh, snowman, that's cool. You know.
Eventually, he did. He met us at King. You should have wore that at King.
Yeah, exactly.
If I-
Shout out to the King High School people who are watching this, by the way. We have a lot of high school people.
They kicked me out.
That's
your damn bad.
Your fault.
We'll get into
I
that
wasn't
later.
kicked out. So
Yeah.
shout out to y'all.
Yeah, right?
Fuck y'all.
So we don't get into that track, man. What's that track called?
Young Jeezy, stay strapped.
Stay strapped, Young Jeezy, man. This is Boundless Hour with Danielle Chris Productions.
Fuck King High.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and run.
Somebody's salty over here.
It's still going.
Man, if we would have let that keep riding, he would have went on for another 5 minutes.
That'd have been the whole show, bro.
He did that
Oh.
Tupac hit him up thing.
Right? He just kept you this, you that, Oh,
That's
man.
how it used to be, though. Like, that's how this song used to be back then.
Wasting all my computer
Like,
memory on
they will
some.
just they'll kill you on a song, and to make sure you're overkilled, they will just talk shit about you the
That's
whole
hilarious.
freaking rest of the song. That's how it used to be. It's hilarious.
Man. Young Jeezy, though, my favorite album was his first album, Thug Motivation 101. That was the
Facts.
album, dude.
Facts.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the album. So the next beef we
Soul
had.
Survivor.
So yeah.
That was the
What
track
happened
right
to
there.
Akon, bro? Where Akon
That-
been at? I get he lighting up Africa, but
Yeah.
damn, dude. Come back and do some music,
That's
man.
what he's doing.
What's he doing over there?
He's lighting up Africa, bro. Literally.
He's putting
putting electricity in Africa.
electricity
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
lining them up,
Really?
dude. Ethiopian dudes be out there freaking with Wi-Fi now, man.
That's what
Yeah.
he's doing. He's not doing.
Shout out to Akon, bro. He doing it. He doing it for his
That's
country.
good, man.
I
That's
get that,
cool.
but he need to come back with some music, bro. Cause he was ahead, bro. We haven't touched Akon honestly as far as music.
He was the hook king before T-Pain.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Hook
Skippy.
king before T-Pain.
Damn right. Yeah.
Right?
I know
Everybody
y'all remember
had
the
him.
Nobody Wanna See Us Too. That was my jam,
Man,
bro.
that song was
They
dope.
don't
Yeah.
gotta know. That was the jam, bro.
Everybody had
Love
him.
that song, yeah.
And then he had that song with Snoop. I wanna love you, but you know.
And his voice,
little
right?
version.
Yeah.
Yeah, his voice with the whole thing. I can't do it. So the next song, because John over here asking me, is Big Bang.
Okay, yeah. So that's me again.
Piggy Bang.
Again.
And that's 50 dissing everybody in the freaking.
Man, don't sound so unenthusiastic when you on the mic. God dang. Oh, we're gonna play the next track, and it's just gonna
But
be
no, his diss started the Fat Joe diss. His diss started the Ja Rule diss.
It was all
His diss
unnecessary,
started
honestly.
Jadakiss diss. His diss started Nas diss. He even went at Khalif. Milkshake.
And then he got murdered by Game. Then he got murdered by Game. That's all it was. So Let's go ahead and run that track, man. So explain that, because I didn't even know about that.
I don't know how to explain it. He literally
just randomly dissed him
on the Massacre CD. He literally just came out with a song.
Wait, that song was on Massacre? You know what's funny
Massacre.
though? Massacre. I wasn't too much of a fan of the Massacre album.
Not at
It wasn't all that.
Take you to
It had one song. It had Candy Shop and it had Disco Inferno. That was it.
Yeah, I hated that song.
My God.
I like Disco
Have you ever seen the
Inferno.
Disco? Have you ever seen
Candy
the
Shop
Disco
was
Inferno
annoying.
video?
Candy Shop was hilarious.
Have you ever
That
seen
song-
the Disco Inferno video?
No.
That was like
I saw
BET
the Candy
Uncut
Shop.
before BET Uncut left. Like that's all that video was.
That's probably why it left.
Like that was just strip club music. And it was
I remember the
horrible.
Candy Shop video I liked until Game said Olivia looked like a man, and then I low-key started seeing it.
Oliver.
He said Olivia low-key looked like a man, and then when I watched the Candy Shop video, I'm over here like, she do got low kind of a man face going on, bro. That killed it for me.
Damn.
Oh,
And they had her in the video?
Yeah, well, they had her. She was in the Candy Shop video. She was in a hook.
That's
She
fucked
just
up.
had like she looked wild.
That's
She just
fucked
looked
up.
wild.
That's fucked up. But when Game pointed that out, I'm over here like, yo, you know, you right. Like,
Damn.
damn.
Now you're gonna make me watch it again just like.
You watch, go back, bro. You know, I'm sorry.
No,
Olivia,
first you
but-
gotta listen to the one that Game is saying first, then you gotta watch it, then you understand.
Yeah, then you'll see what he's talking about.
And then
So-
after that, she never put out a song ever
Nope,
again.
she was gone after
only,
that,
Only
bro.
song that she ever had was
Poor Olivia.
Candy Shop.
Well, because I still don't know who you're talking about.
Olivia, she was a G Unit, bro. She was the singer of G
She was
Unit.
the only.
She was with
female-
who?
She was the only female in G
In
Unit.
G
And who?
Exactly. You remember G Unit, bro? You remember
Who?
G Unit? We all had.
Technically, they're still out.
We all had the sweatshirts.
They're still out.
I never had a sweatshirt.
I had a sweatshirt. I had a G
Young
Unit.
Buck
I never had a G in a sweatshirt.
Young Buck is still crying on phones with transgenders. But yeah, let's keep going.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
say what?
Go back to
You
that.
can't just say that sentence
Wait, hold up. Go
and
back
think
to
that it's just gonna slide out.
We're gonna always start problems.
Why is Jay so loud in my
I
headphones,
know, you
bro?
gotta turn it
Jesus
down, bro.
Christ.
Hey, look, the first couple
You gotta
shows you
step
talking
on the
about,
mic. You gotta stop.
Jay, you too quiet. You
Yeah,
too
but
quiet.
you're killing my eardrum right now.
That's because you got old man eardrums. I ain't worried about you.
But
All right, let's get
No,
back
but
to
now,
that.
but now you gotta explain what you just said though.
y'all,
Yeah, okay, so wait,
do
yeah.
y'all remember when 50 Cent recorded Young Buck crying on the phone?
No, I don't even know about that.
I know.
Fuck, god damn, that's more.
You gonna explain it?
This way you got dropped out of
No,
King because you went doing
basically,
homework. He's over there worried about other shit, bro.
That's over here on World Star and shit, like-
Alright. Basically, what happened?
I was doing
Young
homework.
Buck called
nigga.
50 Cent because he was like $1 billion or $1 million in debt, whatever. 50 Cent was being a coward. He recorded the whole conversation. Young Buck on the phone crying, saying, "You need to help me with my taxes. They're gonna put me in jail." Yeah, and that started the 50 Cent Young Buck beef, which we'll get
Damn.
into next week.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, bro. And then
That's crazy.
now, as 2019, Young Buck is still getting caught on camera crying, but this time it was with a transgender.
Okay, wait. So he was like,
He had sexual relations with a
With that woman.
transgender.
with that one.
He had sexual relations
Well,
with that woman.
Yeah, with that.
What
Was
you
a
define-
transgender.
whatever.
She
With
put,
that
she
woman.
put the video out on Instagram. Everybody was like, "Bro, she's like a well-known transgender." He just didn't care. They put the video
Oh,
out.
so he knew what was going down.
He didn't know until she put the video out, and everybody was like, "Bruh, like you realize that's a transgender." She put the video out. Told him, "I'm not gonna put it down unless you give me like $1 million." She called him on the
so she
phone. He
extorting
was
niggas
crying
out there.
on the phone saying, "I didn't know you was a transgender. All my people coming at me saying that you were." And yeah. So, he got caught on the phone.
I'm sorry, but that reenactment.
Damn,
If you guys can see,
You're gonna have to recap
I'm
that.
I'm low-key crying right now too. If y'all can only see, oh my god.
He got caught with a transgender.
That's crazy, man. First Eddie Murphy, man. Then you got Young Buck out here. That's
Crying on the
crazy.
phone saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't know you were." And she was like, "I'll take it down if you give me $1 million." He was like, "Look, I will, but just take it down first." And they had a whole little back and forth. "No, you do it. No, you do it."
Wow.
And he ended up.
But
paying.
does he not realize he's known? It's already out there.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't know.
Forget
I didn't
paying
know-
her. It's already there. People have
I
already
didn't
seen it.
know. I didn't
yeah.
know that was the second time. The first
Oh.
time the video didn't get to come out, he paid right away. So
Was this a
he has
different
a little.
transgender or the same transgender
It was a
getting twice?
different. It was a different. He got caught with different. So he has a little.
Oh, so he knew.
Nah, he knew.
He had to know. He knew.
He has a little.
He went to the same
Bro,
place. It's
he
just
got
a different
some
girl.
explaining to do.
He has a
some
little bit of
explaining to
explaining to
do.
do.
He called it the same guy,
I'm
and
sorry.
they gave him the same girl.
Yep, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me
He li-
twice,
he
bro,
likes-
that's on
he
you.
likes-
Yeah,
That's
right?
on you.
He
You
likes
know
a
what you
little
were doing.
Melissa and a little Mike at the same time. I don't know.
Oh,
So he,
all right.
He just has to
This
explain.
conversation took a whole different
You were
road.
talking about some Mike Lissas and
Damn.
stuff.
I mean, how else you gonna say it? Whatever.
Let's
anyways,
let's get back to the
let's get
beef,
back to
bro.
the beat, bro. Let's
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 get back to
let's go
50
ahead and
Cent.
get into this track real quick.
50 Cent Piggy Bank, where he's going at the whole East
I'm
Coast.
traumatized now.
That is the beef, ain't it?
That's part of it.
Wait, was it attached beef or like?
No, but that whole the piggy bank one, everybody was still in the G Unit camp, even Game. All of them were still, well, not Game. That was the inch, like that was
Damn, so 50 Cent
was
was
the
attacking
gang
his
left.
own town?
pretty much.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
He's
But no, that
he
that
ruthless, bro.
but that's why we should have played that song, because the song back to this 50 was the New York. Y'all remember the New York with Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Ja Rule? That was their response. No, that was what started that.
we gonna have to come back to this then.
Yeah, we might.
We gonna have to come back to
Yeah,
this next
might
beef
have to.
Because they
segment.
came out with the New York with Jadakiss, Fat Joe, Ja Rule, and then 50 said, "All right, I'm about to have an album." Boom, piggyback. So that was his response to their beat.
Oh, we gonna
He
have to hear
said,
that
y'all,
track next time.
y'all ain't
around.
worth nothing but this, whatever I can fit in this piggy bank. Here you go.
Just one track.
Bro, but you should watch the video. Like it's all animated. It's not a real video. It's all animated
Oh, yeah, some
cartoon.
Kanye West shit.
He went like it was funny.
That's crazy. Let's go ahead and run this track,
Yeah,
man.
let's hear this 50
It's
Cent
called
Piggy
Piggy
Bank.
Bank.
We listening to the Balance Hour
Click it,
on
clank,
Danny
click it,
Alvarez
clank.
Productions with Leo G, Kane, and Jay Lewis.
Yeah,
Get it.
I love this one. You guys-
John over here trying to talk before the
That
mic
was
come
just
back on.
that was a dope ass song. That's the only like
What the
real
fuck
song.
is that?
What?
He got creatures over here
Oh my god.
hanging out on the mic. He had something. I don't know what it was.
That was like
You want to put his
that
2
was the
cents about the
only
beef, bro.
that was the
right?
only like,
Yeah.
I don't really like listen to 50 that much, but that song was like
50 had hits, bro. You can't hate on 50,
yeah,
bro.
Mini Man, all types of shit. But that song,
His first album was a classic.
Give It
bro.
Your That Try, yeah.
You know, that was a classic.
But that song right there is just amazing. He's
Yeah.
literally going at the whole East Coast. I forgot he brought Sean into the beat.
My thing about 50 is like he petty, bro. He just
He is.
stays
He's
on,
Mr. Petty.
like, damn.
Even on Instagram now, he still does it. He's going there. He's killing Wendy Williams.
I told Kane. I told
my
Jay last week, bro. I told Jay last week. He's still messing with Ja Rule, bro. Leave
Definitely.
him alone. It's done.
Leave
The,
that man.
the concert that Ja Rule first had, as petty as 50 was, the first concert Ja Rule did in New York, 50 Cent bought the whole first row.
Yeah, we talked
Yeah,
about
we
that
talked
last
about
week.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, like,
Yeah,
leave him alone. His career's over. It's done. Like, just leave him alone.
Leave the man
bro.
He
alone.
literally made
Let
Ja
him
Rule
collect
do-
his little
He
royalties. He
literally
got hanging
made
around
Ja Rule
somewhere.
go from gangster rap to doing R&B hits. That's literally. Sorry. Too far?
All right, man. So let's get back into this
Jeez.
before my phone died.
Sorry.
My phone
Too
finna
far?
die, and
Is that
I'm
too
the only
far?
one that got to this.
It's not like a personal problem.
So
It's just
No, I'm
hilarious.
just kidding.
I'm sorry.
the next one we got,
Oh,
we're gonna start into the game. Game, dude, he was a big name in early
He slaughtered
2000s.
G-Unit. He killed him.
Dude, he murdered them.
That was over.
As soon as Game put out 300 bars, I threw away my G-Unit
He
jacket.
put out 300.
He did. You did. I remember that.
Ghost
I
Unit
threw in my
mix-
G-Unit
He had a
jacket.
whole like, he did like a whole year of just putting out mixtapes, just killing it.
So first of all, the first, because you brought up beef before the whole G-Unit one. I forgot what it was called. It was
Yuck Mouth.
yeah, I think that's the one.
Yeah.
So explain that beef before we get into the game and G.
Yuck Mouth was also, he's like attached somehow to the Ja Rule camp.
Now Yuckmouth was from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's attached to somehow with the Ja Rule camp somehow, I don't know. And he
that's random.
He had a it
I'm
was,
sorry, I'm lost. I don't know who Yuck Mouth is.
You know?
I think Fat Albert, bro. I don't know what the hell a Yuck Mouth is.
I got five on it. Loonies. I got 5 on it.
Yuckmouth
Oh,
is
okay,
I got
okay,
five
okay,
on it.
okay,
I got
okay.
5 on
Okay,
it. That's Yuckmouth. That's
He
Yuckmouth.
had like a beef with
Okay.
he was like mutual with Ja Rule, and he inherited that Ja Rule beef and started dissing 50.
See, that's messed up. How you could just be cool with somebody, and
And
just
you
because
inherit
they got
beef.
dissed,
Yep.
now I'm getting dissed.
Yep.
No, but-
Like that's your
but-
fault. You was bitch
okay,
made,
so-
not mine.
So he started dissing G Unit and didn't realize because Game first career started in the Bay Area.
Right.
So he started
Okay.
beefing with 50 Cent and was like, oh shit, forgot Game was a part of that now. Whatever, I hope he don't take it different because now he's beefing with 50. They saw each other at a club at Jadakiss album release party or some shit like a while back, and then they met each other to try to pretty much like check each otother's temperature, see if like if it's real, like if you just going at 50 or you going at 50.
Oh, okay.
See,
Try
the
to
way,
test each other.
yeah, okay. You
Try to
hit me
test
with
each
some
other.
slang, and I was like, what?
Yeah, so
What the hell
they
you
did
talking-
that.
Jay over
and
here
then-
This
like,
nigga
I'm
sick or
No,
what? Like, I don't know what
but
you
this,
talking-
but this is where the twist is at. So
Jay
they,
over here
so
like,
they
well,
did
I
that.
never.
They did that at the club to see how people's temperature was, and they both came out. They both agreed like we're not going at you, you're not going at us.
Mhm.
One person said that me and Game squashed it, but Game did the petty shit that he does. He said, nah, I checked him in the club. Fuck him.
And then he came out with the diss.
And then that's when he was like, oh, like, damn, when we was in the club, we was cool. But now, as soon as you leave, we not. So, Yuck Mouth put out one song, dissing Game, and then Game just put out another
Is that the song where they did a video and they had
Where the person dressed up like
yeah,
Game?
they had somebody dressed up like Game.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
He wearing like a pink bandana. You know
Yeah.
how Game used to wear like all the bandanas on his head? He wearing a pink bandana. Like they beating the hell out of his.
That's what started that beef. And then Game went back to,
Of course he gonna respond.
Oh,
like he
of
does.
course.
Of
It's
course
Game.
Game gonna respond.
and that's where they came out with I Got a Mill on it. And
Okay.
That's hilarious.
That's the next track we have, right?
Yeah.
So we gonna play. Okay, you know what? I was gonna play these next two tracks in a row, but the track we have after that is 15 minutes long. So instead, let's play this one track, get that beef out of the way,
I Got a Mill on it.
and then we'll go back to the next track.
Yeah.
So go ahead and play that next track, and then we'll come back. So this is Yuck Mouth and Game Beef, and this is Game's response to Yuck Mouth's diss.
Killer.
All right.
What's up with these beefs, man? Why they gotta go off on each other so much?
Game is ruthless, man.
That's what the third song we played tonight, where they're just going and
I
going
told
and
you,
going
that's
and
how
going.
That's how it used to be with
Man.
rap beefs,
That
bro.
shit's hilarious, dude.
It's like
That's how it used to be with rap beefs.
say your notes and just be done with it.
And I'm sorry, I thought it was Ja Rule, but he was beefing with somebody else named somebody else that was beefing with 50. It wasn't Ja Rule. But yeah,
Man, Game went the hell, dude. Game's always had a reputation of when he disses somebody, he dissed
goes in,
somebody.
yeah.
it goes in.
Dude, okay, the last beef that he had was with Meek Mill.
Yeah.
And
That's when he was.
and hold up,
He
in
was
that
doing that shit
track
all
though,
on Instagram.
in that
He was
track,
on
he
Instagram.
used some current hashtag at the end of the song. He said, "All lives matter except this nigga." That's the most disrespectful.
Yeah.
He goes that limit.
He crosses the limit, yeah. He
He doesn't-
definitely
he doesn't
crosses
care.
the line. He don't give a damn, bro.
Dang.
He said in one interview, he said like what they asked him like.
Dude, he
what's-
said I'll
He
cut
said
the
like
clip.
he said what's off limits. He said the only thing that's off limits with his beefs is children. That's it.
Oh, okay, that
Other
makes
than
sense.
that, he's
That's
gonna
respect.
go.
I
he's
give
gonna-
I give respect.
I can respect for that,
He
but
said
he
he'll go at
said,
your
he
grandma,
said to
he don't
Meek
give a
Mill,
shit.
dude, he said to Meek Mill in that same track that I mentioned, he said, "I'll take these clippers and cut that mustache off your mama, nigga."
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, bro, he went to his mom,
He does
bro.
not care.
He just crossed that limit, and it's crazy. So
The beef is real.
this next
was.
beef that we have,
But it was squashed and everything went good. Well,
was
actually, it
squashed
wasn't.
after
Actually,
he
it wasn't.
disrespected the hell
It
out of
wasn't squashed. They were supposed to do like a peace treaty song, and then Game turned around and dissed him again on the same song with him on the first verse.
Well, damn.
On the second verse, Game's on
He
the
said,
dude.
"What
The
now?"
dude that was gonna squash it. He said, "I'm gonna do the first verse because he has to go back on tour." And then Game said, "Nah, I'm not done with it," and dissed him on the same song.
of course, just overkill for no reason. All right,
Just be cool with
Just
Game,
cut.
man, or he'll end your career.
we ain't never dissing Game. I'll tell you that much.
No.
We ain't never dissing Game. Anything Game, if you listening, bro, we
Either
love
he'll
you.
dish you on a song or his people will kill you.
I like Game though. Game's
Game is dope, bro. Game is dope. Aside from all the beefs and disrespectful
Rest in
stuff,
peace, Rosemont.
and like it's. But anyways, all right. So
Rest in peace to Meek Mill's mom's
mustache,
mustache,
man.
man.
I hope she bleached it afterwards, bro. I swear, I hope she bleached it.
No, but then they had like an interview and they asked him, he was like, "Why did you put his mom in it?" He said, "I literally went on Instagram and I saw his mom and she had a mustache." So
Wow.
I wrote
Damn, just like
That's so
that.
foul,
Just like
bro.
that,
That's
huh?
so foul.
Dang.
That's so foul, man. That's crazy. So he said it was great. So anyways, Game, now we on Game. The next track that we have, like I said earlier, is a 15-minute long song
That killed the whole.
that killed G-Unit.
300 bars.
From the
300
artist to
bars,
the
bro.
DJ.
we told you about it last week. We told you guys we were gonna play it
From the artist to the
because he
What
literally.
DJ was it again? It was
DJ Who Kid.
DJ Who
Who
Kid,
Kid.
yeah. He said, I hope he know how to DJ with Bruce Willis. So anyways, to explain what happened, because this is a track that I brought in, because I feel like we had to play it.
This probably gonna be the last song.
I feel like we had to play it, dude. I mean, yeah.
you had to, because that was in that.
Honestly, it was the biggest diss song that came out in the early 2000s, I feel.
It was one of them, because he had 120 bars, he had 200 bars.
He had a whole mixtape dissing G-Unit. He had Stop Snitching, Stop Lying.
He had the Ghost Unit. He did a whole season.
He did a whole mixtape, bro. You know, he put out a DVD dissing G-Unit, bro.
Where the end of the DVD, he ended up at 50 Cent's house.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
Of course you did.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
So okay, what happened was, 50 Cent was dissing everybody at the time. He had beef with everybody. He had beef with Nas.
He had went on like a radio and they asked him
92,
about.
yeah, 92,
They asked him about Game, like.
So before that escalated though, before they got to that point, 50 Cent was dissing Nas. He was dissing Fat Joe. He was dissing Ja Rule. He had 50 Cent had beef with everybody.
The whole East Coast.
He had beef with everybody in the East Coast, which is weird because he's from the East Coast, but whatever. So they had that beef.
But they had.
From what I heard from interviews from Game is.
Yeah.
50 Cent wanted Game to jump in on that beef, you know, because he was G-Unit at the time. You know, G-Unit was a big squad back in the early 2000s, right? We all remember. So,
They had the streets on lock.
50 Cent wanted Game to be a part of that beef towards all the people that he was beefing with, right? Game said in interviews, and he said it before, that he couldn't personally do it because he's always bumped Nas. Fat Joe always show him love. Everybody from the Terror Squad.
The first song he ever did was with Jadakiss.
That's what I'm saying. So he, you know, I mean, somebody show you love like that, you can't just get up and,
I can't just diss
like
you,
what
bro,
you said earlier. Like what you said earlier. Like just because somebody got beef with somebody, you gotta inherit that beef. That's not right.
No,
you
it
know
doesn't make
So he was in a tough situation, in a tough spot. So apparently with 50 Cent, they went on like Ken was saying, he went on 92.3. And they were talking about
Not 92.3, it was in New York.
My bad, it was Hot 97, right?
97.
It was Hot 97. They went on that and they're talking about it. They're talking about 50 Cent's current beefs and all that stuff. And Game was happened to be listening at the time.
He happened to be in New York.
He happened to be in New York and be listening to the radio station at the time. And 50 Cent, everybody talking about Game is kicked out of G-Unit, right? Without telling Game. Game didn't know. So he listening, he like, wait, hold up, what?
They all jumped in cabs and went to the radio station.
They went to the radio station.
What really was about.
And before they got into the radio station, G-Unit security is outside.
Police.
Yeah.
Of course.
G-Unit security is outside and they
can't stop snitching. Okay.
Exactly. So they outside with guns. It's no secret that Game and his crew gonna have guns. You know, so they hop out of cabs. They get into a shootout. G-Unit security and Game and his people, because he's over there with like Bloods, right? He over there with like what, bunch of Bloods out there in New York. So bunch of Cedars. So he's outside. He got his team. G-Unit got their crew. They get into a shootout right outside the studio. They just, and I remember seeing this on the news when I was living in Mobile at the time. And I remember it's on the news and it's everywhere. It's on MTV News. It's on CNN. It's on everywhere. That G-Unit security and Game and his people got into a shootout. They got a couple people got shot.
One guy got hit.
Couple
people,
yeah.
From Games Camp got hit.
One guy from Games Camp got hit. He took a bullet. And anyways, that's what
it took a bullet and Game flew back to LA and then he went straight to the studio and that's when 300.
But before that, no, see what's crazy? I know that before that they went back to New York. There's a video out there of Game and 50 Cent allegedly squashing the beef.
Oh yeah.
Because it was Biggie Smalls.
It
was a Biggie Smalls memorial. So it was a Biggie Smalls Memorial Day. So they go and you know, in front of the cameras, they squash the beef. Like, all right, we're good. We're gonna squash. We're gonna let this get out of hand.
It wasn't squash.
But Game goes back to the West Coast. He comes back to Cali, and then he records 300 bars. Now, 300 bars, dude, is literally 300 bars. Like
jacking for beats, 300 bars.
Yeah, exactly. So what he did, and I love whoever produced this, whoever makes this was, it was who did I don't know who did that.
I want to say.
I can't remember.
I want to say
New Jersey Devil.
Yeah, New Jersey Devil and DJ Ski.
Yeah, it was DJ Ski and New Jersey Devil. Yeah. So what they did is they took a bunch of
jacking for beats.
They took a bunch of beats from classics, put them together, mix them all together, and then
how does that shit run?
Game.
I can't sit in the studio that fucking long. God
I know,
damn.
bro. You went in my studio for about an hour already talking about I want to go.
Exactly.
So anyways,
To do a 15
His ass will do 4 bars and be like, all right, guys, I'm done.
dude,
But
man.
no, to do a 15-minute song with
15
just
minute
random
song.
beats, just like
And he goes
But-
like,
my hats is to DJ Ski for putting that shit together.
But see,
for real, bro.
but see what the DJ does is they make sure that all the beats are within the same tempo.
Yep.
So when you're spitting through the whole beat,
You don't have to switch up the
you don't
tempo.
have to switch up too
Because
much
they switch it up.
because the tempo is the
Do they
same.
do all the vocals first?
No, they do it over
they
the
lay
beat.
down the beat first. For
They
sure.
lay down the beat first,
God, that's
but
a
like I
long
said,
ass fucking
the tempo they keep the same, so that you don't have to keep switching it up.
Although in some parts you can kind of tell that the production, because not every beat is the same tempo.
Well, yeah.
So they had to find it in between. They probably wasn't all perfectly done. You could tell Game switch up his flow a couple
And
times.
a couple parts, yeah.
Because this whole song goes for 15 minutes, dude, non-stop.
Straight.
It's just him.
And then the
going
intro
in,
is just
dude.
killing. The intro
It's
is
freaking.
hilarious.
It's his kids.
God, no, it's not his kids.
It's not his
It's
kids?
random people just in his camp. It's literally random people in his camp. And one of the guys,
I thought it was his
one of the
kids, but they
guys
sounded
that
little
one of the
kids.
guys that are
Damn.
saying it, I personally know. It was just random people from his camp, and they just did like, you know, how you can you can just change voices. And
Bro, that sounds like straight little kids. Like I don't.
it does, but you know how you can change voices and
Yeah.
like when you're recording you can change voices? That's
Yeah.
literally what they
That's
did. Because his
hilarious,
kids
dude.
weren't at that time his kids were still babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure.
they literally like what my homeboy told me is they literally just was messing with the values.
That's hilarious. So anyways, 300 bars, man. This is a classic, and it honestly, it was the end of G Unit. In my opinion.
Definitely.
In my
Yeah.
opinion, it was
Yeah.
the end of
It
G
didn't
Unit.
even stop after that. He kept going.
He kept going. It was overkill. It was unnecessary, but he did it.
But it's game,
Whatever.
bro.
It's game.
It's game.
He's just gonna cross that limit.
You know, it
So
is
let's
what
get
it is.
into it, man. Y'all gonna be listening to this track for 15 minutes straight. I will warn you. This is a disclaimer. Y'all gonna be listening to this for 15 minutes.
But listen to everything.
But
It's
listen to
hilarious.
everything and the way it changes up, it's crazy. It's crazy. We probably gonna have to go on a food run or something.
Hey, you know what though? For you guys on Facebook, if it cuts off, we'll put it back on so you can hear the whole thing too.
Yeah.
Because we definitely got
We'll
to
put up links or something,
get a
man.
food run after this.
Yeah, for sure.
While this is playing.
That's hilarious.
Uber Eats. What's up?
So let's go ahead and get into it, man. This is 300 bars. You're gonna be listening to music for 15 minutes straight, but just listen. You're gonna witness greatness right now. So let's get into it, man. This is Game 300 bars. You listen to the Boundless Hour with Downey Alcaraz production on InternetCityLive.com. Let's get
Go
it.
ahead and tune in. Lennon.
Oh, no.
Oh man. Hold on. Over here trying to sound like Kevin Hart.
Live.
Oh no. No, 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 no.
Oh my God, no, he wasn't ready.
No, 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 no,
He
no.
wasn't ready.
Help me.
Help, man.
That was the longest song in hip hop history.
But it destroyed G Unit as a crew.
It literally did, because nothing else happened after
I mean,
that.
what can you say after 300 bars against you? I
Because
mean,
50
what?
Cent only put out one song,
You can't
and it
come
was
back to
called
that, dude.
I'm Never Rich, and I'm Stopped, or something like that. It was just, it didn't match.
It,
It didn't match.
there's no coming back to that, honestly. I don't care who you
300
are.
bars.
How do
15
you sit
minutes.
in
He
the-
destroyed you lyrically.
But how do you sit in the studio and just write that?
He was. Hey, look, man. He was determined
He had to be.
to destroy a career.
And then he
A
came
lot
out
of
with.
marijuana.
And then he came out with 400 bars too.
Yeah, I did hear that one too, actually.
That one didn't really.
Then he had 120 bars.
That was before though.
That was yeah, but still, like, dude, damn.
Just throwing bars out
Just
there.
throwing
Just,
bars,
I
bro.
forgot who the 400 bars was.
Even when he dissed Meek Mill, it was 92 bars.
Yeah, he did. That was funny. 92 bars. I can't wait to talk about that.
That was crazy.
I'm gonna talk about that next week.
So that was Game versus G Unit. Honestly, in all honesty, after that, G Unit
He won.
dispersed. That was it.
Literally, that's
Never heard
literally
from
that's
G-Unit
when
again.
Young Buck left, Lloyd Banks left,
Everybody left.
except for only two people stayed, and that was 50 Cent and Tony Gayo. Yayo, sorry.
Tony Yayo.
Tony Gay.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Tony Yayo.
Yayo had one song, So Seductive. How you come straight out of prison with a song called So Seductive?
That's
Because he had a good time in prison, apparently.
I like the move it. Anyways, that
What?
was.
What?
That was part of the
So
song.
anyways, let's get into
That was a part of his
moving
song.
on.
What
Moving
just
on.
happened
That
right
was a part
now?
of Yayo's song. It
Moving
was-
on.
Hey, since you messing with that paper over there,
I like
let's
I
get some
mean,
people to call in.
They've
I
had,
mean,
they've
y'all
had
gotta
the number
call in and
on the
join
thing.
in
I mean, the
jokes.
number is
Numbers in our
there.
logo.
Let's
You gotta join in on these jokes.
It's
If you want to join in on the conversation, Leo G right here will read you the number real quick.
Right here.
He'll read it in English and in Spanish, just because.
Single.
It's not all fives. I promise it's not all fives.
So if you want to call in
not
anytime, any moment, we got a phone line right here. It's 909-381-7540. If you can't remember that, look at our logo while the song's playing, and it's at the bottom.
And call in and join in on these jokes.
Just join in. Have a conversation with us. I know somebody's sitting right next to their cell phone right now. Everybody's probably on their cell phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know how the generation is these days.
They're
And
looking
you
at
guys are
that
probably
stop
like,
sign, stop
I
line,
kind of
read
want to
right
call
now.
them, but I don't want to call them because what if they don't answer?
Right.
We'll answer. Go ahead, call
We'll
them.
answer.
Call
So,
them.
in my
Stop
opinion,
snitching,
and I
stop
think,
lying.
everybody's opinion, game one.
Definitely.
Game
There's
one.
nothing else about that.
to this day.
There was somebody else a part of this?
50
Oh, shit.
50
Well,
Cent
damn.
to this day don't really talk to Game.
No, there's something else between that one though. There's they lost Game actually. I mean, 50 actually lost through Jimmy Henchman killed one of 50 people, which Jimmy Henchman was a manager of Game, so that's why they killed him. There's difference. It's not about the music.
But that's where it started. That's where it came
Yeah.
from. That's where it came from.
But that's why they won't ever do a song. They'll meet up, as you can see online. They met up in clubs multiple times, but they're never gonna work together because of that.
So before we get to this next beef, what we want to put as a disclaimer, we do not promote the violence
Stomp.
Definitely
that
not.
comes from this beef. It just happens.
It is what it is,
It
you know.
unfortunately happens.
And
Keep it music, man. Just keep it
And
music.
that's why we went and we played a couple of different beefs. That way you guys can see there are beefs that keep it in the music.
Like
Yep.
the Ludacris,
You know,
Lil
There are
Flip.
several beefs that happen, but unfortunately between hip hop, because a lot of people come from different backgrounds. They come from a lot of hood backgrounds. They come from gang backgrounds,
Definitely.
and
A lot of people.
it just end up in killings, dude. You know, it just end up in shootings and
Because some people just take it way.
and it's
way
unfortunate.
too far.
It's unfortunate, and I mean.
Keep it music.
The next song that we do have coming up, the next beef, this is the last beef that we're going to talk about before we get into the last segment that we have prepared for the night, was a beef that ended up civilly. You know,
There you go.
no one died, thankfully.
That's a good
But
beef.
did they get no altercations?
I think after that song, that was it.
Yeah,
I don't remember T.I.
I don't remember
responding.
seeing any Ludacris T.I.
Yeah, so the next beef we have is T.I. and Ludacris, and this happened in the early 2000s too.
Oh yeah.
And what happened here,
Sorry.
like we were talking about earlier before we started the show, what we were setting up, T.I., okay, the song isn't even by T.I. or Ludacris, it's Young Buck from G Unit.
Coward.
Mhm.
That's funny.
It's Young Buck from G Unit. He had a song called Stomp,
Yep.
where he featured T.I. and Ludacris. Now, for some reason, T.I. guess was feeling himself at the moment because T.I. This is when T.I. was just first popping. He had just came out. This is around that same time where T.I. had just started blowing up. Yeah, it was.
Really?
T.I. had just started blowing up. You know,
I thought
he
he
did,
already had like an album.
did his thing, and so he was feeling himself. You know, and Ludacris before that, obviously he already popped. Ludacris been in the game for a minute now.
Well, yeah.
You know, so T.I. takes a small shot at Ludacris in a song that maybe not too many people caught, but Ludacris caught it. You know, he said he throws his name in there in a track in his verse.
But was it just? It wasn't like they didn't have nothing before that.
No.
As far as I know, no.
So
No,
it was just
but
T.I.
the-
Okay.
But the crazy thing is Young Buck told T.I. He said, "Hey, look, man, I'm gonna throw Ludacris on the track. You cool with that?" T.I. responded, "Yeah, that's cool."
So maybe
Throw him on there.
maybe what T.I.'s brain was thinking is like, I'm just gonna out rap him.
Well, he recorded his verse first.
Yeah.
They
That's
sent
what I mean,
it.
that's
They
what I mean.
sent
Maybe
they
he
sent it
just
to
said-
ATL. He
maybe-
recorded first.
Maybe he just
Then
said,
they
I'm
sent
gonna
it.
out rap him.
Then when Young Buck got it back, he was like,
Cause if you
I don't know if T.I. knows that I'm
No,
putting
but-
Ludacris on here or not.
No,
but,
because if
you know,
you-
He
if
knew T.I. knew Ludacris.
If you
was on
remember
that
Young
track.
Buck's album, the album that it came out straight out of Cashville, there was two different versions. It's version with Game, Young Buck, and I think Ludacris, and then there's a regular version with
T.I. and Ludacris.
Yeah.
That's the original one. With the one with T.I. and Ludacris is the original song.
Oh,
So
okay.
T.I. recorded his verse, Ludacris heard it, and was like, "All right, cool. I'm about to clap back on him real quick." his whole verse, he just went in on T.I. on his whole verse.
So T.I. records his verse first, and then the track gets sent to Ludacris for him to record his verse. Ludacris hears that little shot that T.I. took at him
It just went
in
off.
his verse, and
And
then
that was
says,
it.
"Oh, okay, all right." Even in his verse, he says, "These young rappers love saying my name because maintaining my fish tank in their house costs the same." You know, you're gonna hear that in that track. So
That's rough.
So Ludacris caught the little diss, the little jab that T.I. Took at Ludacris, and he just ran with it. He just ran with it and then killed him. So let's get into the track. The track is called "Stomp" by Young Buck featuring T.I. and Ludacris, and in this track, T.I. and Ludacris were beefing. So let's go ahead and get into the track. This is the Boundless Hour, man. We almost done up in here.
Now, I love T.I., but
Ludacris just.
That's a good way to come back into that
please
one.
stay off the T.
Oh
P.
my God. Like,
That's-
bro.
Man.
Ludacris, man. That was before Fast and Furious for all you kids out there watching. That was before he was on Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
For real.
Man,
That really trips me out how they see like rappers who are like now
that's
actors,
just actors, yeah.
and they don't see.
They don't know that they
And
were.
it's funny you say that because we were actually talking about that last week too.
yeah.
Because we were talking about the Ice Cube and Common diss,
Yeah.
the beef that they had, right? And a lot of the younger kids only know them from their acting. You know, you got Barbershop, you got Friday, you got
Are we there yet?
Are We There Yet, right?
Yeah.
Then you got, what's that one where he was where
All
Common
About
was a
the
basketball
Benjamins.
player?
All about the Benjamins. Common was a basketball player.
With Queen Latifah.
Oh,
Holiday. Something holiday.
Some holiday, right? Yeah, close enough. And then, then you got Common in the John Wick series, and that's all they know these guys for.
yeah.
They know them
That's
as
crazy.
actors.
Hold up. Common was in John Wick?
Bro, where have you been?
I've seen John
What?
Wick too. Hold up. What?
What? He was in John Wick too.
Someone had
Common-
homework.
Common
Someone
was-
had homework.
I'm gonna go back
Bro,
and watch John
bro,
Wick.
Common
'Cause I
was
didn't see
the
that.
main bad guy almost the main bad guy. He was like his good friend at some point, I guess, right?
I need to stop.
And now and they were, you gotta watch it, bro. You gotta watch it.
I need to stop.
Watch chapter 2,
Power.
and you'll see him in there.
I did
You'll
not
see him in
catch
there.
Common.
He's in there,
John
bro.
Wick too.
And it's not a 2-second thing that Common's in either.
He has a whole thing.
Yeah, but a lot of the young guys,
They don't realize. They don't know.
they only know them
Do your
as
Googles.
actors. They have no idea that these guys were rappers before. And we even talked about like Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right,
You know,
right.
nobody knew, the summertime
was a
before
rapper.
that,
Did
the
y'all know
DJ Jazzy Jeff and all that other stuff
Not even
before that.
summertime.
You
It was
know,
Parents Don't
DJ
Understand.
parents don't understand all that.
DJ Jazzy Jeff wrote the theme song to that.
Oh, I'm
believe
not
it.
surprised.
I believe
not
it.
surprised.
I mean, he was on the show too.
Jazzy Jeff was a talented dude. He didn't get enough credit, I feel, as far
Yeah.
as being Will
So
Smith's
Jazzy
second.
Jeff is still getting paid right now.
I'm sure he is.
I'm sure.
He has to.
Still
I'm
getting
sure.
I mean, he was on Fresh Prince. He has
Fresh
to.
Prince comes on every.
I still watch it.
They're
So.
both getting paid. I mean, it is what
Yeah,
it
Will
is.
Smith a lot more, obviously,
Yeah.
but damn,
Yeah.
he's
Bad Boys 3 coming soon.
that's
Bad
right.
boys, yeah.
So this last segment we got coming on. Usually we ended up playing IE artists.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, early this week, or last week. Well, yeah, early this week, something happened where it was an unfortunate tragedy. Nipsey Hussle.
Rest in peace.
Nipsey Hussle was shot in front of his own store, in front of his own place of business. And it was a tragedy. It was sad. It's a sad moment for hip-hop in
Oh, yeah.
general. Hip-hop, just West Coast hip-hop here. We can go ahead and say this was the Tupac of our generation.
Definitely.
For sure. Or his generation, let's go ahead and say it, because he's a little older than us.
It's still ours though.
But
Still
He's
ours.
not. Yeah, he's still in our
It's
generation.
still our generation, bro.
Yeah.
this man, he started out independent. He ended independent. He learned the business of the music industry from the get-go. He started out with mixtapes, dude. Most of the
Yep.
money, he got
Most of it
rich
was
off of
mixtapes.
mixtapes.
He got really rich off of the Crenshaw mixtape.
He got rich off of Crenshaw mixtape. He got rich out of Slauson Boy, Slauson Boy 2.
Copies of that.
He was just putting out, and for those people who don't understand the difference between mixtapes and albums, mixtapes are beats that you don't legally own the rights to, something that you just put out there as instrumentals. albums go on record labels, they go on iTunes, they go on Spotify because you legally own the rights because either you made the beats yourself or you've paid the producers to make the beats to
Yeah.
where you have rights to those beats and go online and all that stuff and promote like nonstop. Now mixtapes you promote yourself. You
Yep.
go online whether you find
That's where like Dat Piff comes in.
that Piff and all that Hulk
know,
Share. I remember Hulk
Hulk
Share,
Share, yeah.
Reverb Nation, all that.
Yep.
So that's the most independent thing you could do yourself is sell mixtapes. You know,
And
because
he started way before that. He did
way before.
out the trunk, bro. Like
Yeah. So he's out there slanging his mixtapes. He's out there outside of his trunk
In
selling
front
his
of the
mixtapes
shopping
in front of Slauson and Crenshaw Avenue, shops where he used to slang drugs from. You know, it's no secret.
Him and his people.
Him and his people. He was Rolling 60s Crip.
Shouts to Black Sam.
And so he was out there slanging his own music. He was out there straight up hustling. That gives into his name Nipsey Hussle. He was really hustling for his music. He was out there selling CDs outside of his trunk. He was out there pushing and promoting. And once
They
he
were
did,
selling CDs, they were selling T-shirts, like literally right across the street from the shopping center.
exactly.
Literally.
So he was a hustler for sure, for sure. No,
Oh,
no
yeah.
secret. So he made his millions off of that, off of just selling mixtapes outside in front of his in front of that shopping center. And then finally, last year was his first debut album called Victory Lap.
Grammy nominated.
Grammy now it was his first album that he put out as a legit album with his own record label, and it went straight Grammy nominated. And a year later, unfortunately, he gets taken out. You know, and it was all over some petty BS. You know that shouldn't have happened. To this day, it still hurts. But LA, everywhere, everybody's showing love.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
Worldwide.
Dude, it's like Denver. I saw Denver. I saw
Yeah,
Houston.
all
I
over,
saw
all over the
Houston,
U.S. You know,
worldwide, bro. Even
Minnesota,
UK,
like, all
Europe is
places,
showing love.
well, because the people that were really paying attention to what he was doing, he was helping out everybody in
Yep.
his city. He was giving
His
back to his
community.
city.
Yep.
He was helping the guys in his crew open up their own
Kids, bro,
businesses,
schools.
start their own businesses. He was helping out schools. You know, he was doing more than just taking the money and spending it on
Pocketing it.
unnecessary
put,
stuff for himself. You know, he was looking out for the
He
people.
put like almost, I want to say $1 million into a specific school. I can't think of the name of it, but
Yeah.
they did the whole
Yep.
basketball court where they repainted the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, I saw that.
And he donated money to that.
He was a
Like,
good dude. Good dude.
So if you
he
look
did a
at
lot.
him from outside, a lot of people that are just gonna judge by looks. You see a gangbanger. You see somebody tatted up. You see somebody, but that is not who he was
Yeah,
at all.
Like he's smart, bro. He just
He was a
knew,
prophet. He
Smart,
was-
gave back. He was, you know.
He just knew everything about the industry already. Like it was just crazy.
the level of respect that he had was, and among every community, we talking about the Black, the Latino community, everybody knew Nipsey Hussle. You know, he was well
And if you
respected.
think you don't know Nipsey Hussle, I can guarantee you, if we play a track, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've
Yep.
heard this before.
First of all, everybody heard the song a couple years back where Donald Trump was about to be elected president.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Him and YG put out a song called "Fuck Donald Trump," and
Yeah,
they
and
go off.
everybody has heard that song.
His verse starts
Everybody's
off
heard
showing love to us as Latinos. He said it wouldn't be the USA without Mexicans, and if it's time to team up, shit, let's begin.
Especially if you got a Crenshaw shirt and you don't know nothing about it, you need to do your
Yeah.
research, man.
Right?
So Nipsey Hussle, man, R.I.P. to him for sure. So we felt it right because it just happened last Sunday. And I remember it happening because I got on the phone with this dude. I'm like, yo, bro, did you hear Nipsey got shot? What the hell, bro? We're on the phone.
But I was sitting on my couch at my dad's house and I just happened to open Instagram and just see,
Yep.
like, that's the first thing I see is Nipsey got shot 6 times.
And we were out in LA already and visiting my mom, and she's 5 minutes down the street from that shopping center.
That's crazy.
Right down the
I'm
street.
at my cousin's house in downtown Riverside, and I think I see his repost of Nipsey getting shot, and I'm like, what? I'm over here start searching. I'm like, nah, this can't be true. Like,
Right.
like because at first they only said people got shot in front and somebody was already dead on the ambulance, but they hadn't mentioned who. Right? So I'm over here making calls. I'm like, no, I better not be Nipsey, I get the phone call from him, and I'm like, man, it was Nipsey. And I'm like, man, it was R.I.P. Like, to me, that whole day, I just
Pissed.
I was mad. I was in shock the rest
Yeah.
of the week, bro. It was just a sadness that came over everybody, dude. Everybody who knew his music, who knew the culture, who knew what he was doing for his community.
Exactly.
It's just a sadness that comes over you. So we felt it right as a team. Before we did the show, we got in contact, all three of us. We said it's only right that we do a tribute
Yeah.
to
It's a
Nipsey.
small tribute, so today we're just gonna. No, we're not gonna play IE artists today. Just in tribute to this, and we'll get back to it next week. But for today, we chose 3 songs that we like, and we're gonna play those 3 tracks right now, just as a tribute to Nipsey Hussle, man, because he did more than what a lot of people in the game.
He literally was Nipsey
doing.
Hussle the Great.
I mean, there's not.
Put it this way: right now, there's a treaty, there's a peace treaty in LA between gangs after his death.
That he
to
wanted
stop
to
violence.
Really start.
He really wanted to stop violence between gangs.
Yeah.
He actually had a day set the next day before he got shot on Monday. He was supposed to meet with the LA commissioner of the LAPD to talk about how to stop gang violence.
Right.
And it just so happens the day before he ends up getting shot.
By
gang violence. So it's a moment of grief. It's a moment of us paying respect to him. So we're gonna play these 3 tracks in a row. Might as well end it up because our time is up. So we're gonna play these next 3 tracks in a row. This is from his last album that came out last year, exactly around this time last year.
Since it's gonna be the last thing, it's just everyone. If you want to try to help some type of way that you can, just keep streaming his music.
Keep his legacy alive.
He's the only one out of Ray Charles to own the rights to his music.
Yep.
So just keep streaming every song, every video, everything. It goes straight to his family for everything that they need. Just keep streaming.
And keep his legacy alive, honestly.
Yeah.
Not even just his
Marathon
music, just the
continues.
message that he brought. Because if you listen to his music, you listen to somebody who's trying to motivate his people, try to motivate the youth, trying to tell them, there is a way out aside from all this gangbanging and violence that happens between both of our communities, as far as the Black and Latino community, because it happens a lot between both of our communities.
He even opened Vector 90 that was for people with that didn't understand the industry or didn't understand anything technology. He had a business that's already still running to this day to help people get into that.
He was all about educating.
Everything is just education. Everything is just
all about
good
helping the people.
Everything is just health. Everything.
He wanted to educate all of us. So, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. This is a tribute to him. These next 3 tracks that are going to be played are from his album that came out last year, his debut album and final album. The songs are Hustle and Motivate, that Jay brought to the table. And then the song that you brought was Dedication, featuring Kendrick Lamar. And then the song that I brought was Real Big, that was from his last album too. So this is the Boundless Hour, our tribute to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace. And let's get to
It's the great.
R.I.P. Nipsey, man.
That was Nipsey Hussle.
That was a great song to end it out.
R.I.P.
Oh
man.
yeah, definitely R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
It's a sad moment.
Always remembered.
It's a sad, I ain't gonna cry 'cause I ain't no punk, but I mean, damn, it's emotional. It really is.
It wouldn't hurt you, it wouldn't make you look any different. It's just like Tupac, bro.
Yeah, it's a sad time. It really is.
Oh yeah.
But rest in peace, man. All we can do now is keep his legacy alive,
Keep streaming.
and keep moving on with his message. His message was peace. His message was unity. His message was business.
He was always giving back. Always giving back.
Yep. He will be missed. So rest in peace, Nipsey, man. This was the Boundless Hour. It was a great way, honestly, to end this beef segment because, like we mentioned earlier, a lot of beefs ended in violence. Unfortunately, this ended in violence. But I mean, it's a moment where we get time to really think about bringing our community together.
Yeah.
As a people.
Definitely.
And we're gonna continue the beef segment next week.
Next week will be the last part for now.
For now.
And like we were telling you guys before, we have a special segment after that. We're not going to tell you what it is yet.
I was gonna say, you want to tell them now?
No. We're not going to tell them. We're not going to tell them yet because they're going to be surprised.
We're gonna wait
on what it is for the old cats that know who he is. I don't know. Too many young people might not know who he is, but
they're gonna know the group that he was from.
But they'll definitely know the group for sure. So
you
we
want
do
to say the group is?
No.
We're setting this for next week.
No, we'll save it for next week. But we do have an interview coming up. It is after the beef segment, part 3. So next week, like Leo said, that will be the last of the beef segment for now.
Yeah, for now.
We might come. We'll bring it back.
We gotta come back because there's a lot that we skipped over. There's a lot that we skipped over.
Do y'all want to even talk about this generation beef?
No, we did. That's next week.
We're gonna get into
That's
it.
next
Yeah.
week. So
We'll
next week will be more of this generation's beef. and then when we bring it back, we'll probably start back in the 80s, 90s again because, I mean, we only went over a few.
We skipped over
right.
a lot,
There's a lot that has gone on, and we feel like it's some things that we want to go over.
Right.
So after we have the beef coming up, we got the interview coming up. Then we talked about possibly doing a female artist.
Yep.
For
Segment,
hip hop
yep.
because there's a lot of female hip hop artists that don't get the recognition they deserve.
And they were dope.
You know, and after we played that Lauryn Hill track last week, we're like, we gotta play some.
There's a lot of female rappers in R&B.
And there's
a Snow the product though.
There's a lot of underground artists, a lot of
like we just not seen that she's really bubbling.
She blowing up, dude. She really is putting it down for us. But anyways, man, this was the Boundless Hour with Leo G, Kane, and Jay Moses. We always post recaps. Like we were talking about earlier, a lot of our viewers watch the show after. Like
yeah.
So
and I'm sorry that the recap from last week has been lagged a little bit. It was so long, my computer has been taking so long to finish. The editing is done. It's the saving part. I got home. So last night, I pushed save. It said 8 hours. I said, all right, cool. It said 8 hours. That's cool, whatever. I wake up this morning, it says 16 hours. I'm like, what?
It doubled. How you gonna double?
So, wait, but then I get home today before I came here. Why was there still 8 hours left?
Damn. What, you got AOL dial-up or something? Damn.
No, I got Frontier. They're supposed to be good, but, you know,
That's what I got.
It is what it is. But, so that we will have that posted. We will post the part 1 recap. We will post the part 2 recap. After 3, we'll do a little mix. From part 1, we do actually have a couple of like behind the scenes spoof stuff for those of you guys that didn't actually watch it. It was a pretty funny episode. So we will post a couple of those separately where you can see us being a little silly.
Dope.
And we'll post this one after. So we will give you guys some recaps as well. Sorry for the lag. It's just my computer is not being fast with me right now. It's too much. I did upgrade. This thing is, but you know, it is what it is. You know.
Dope. So, anyways, you can follow us at Balance Media Group. That's our main page as far as us as a group. Then you can follow me at the Leo G on Instagram and Facebook. You can type that in. So that's THEE Leo G. And then you got Kane
CAINE by the way.
Yeah, and then you got.
And I put mine back to the OG name, so it's at JAYY Moses. And that's it.
That's it.
Simple.
And then you can follow us on Instagram.
Don't get confused with Joe Moses.
But us as a group, us as a group, we're on there at Boundless Media Group on Facebook, on Instagram, and all that. So make sure you follow us and stay tuned for upcoming projects that we have. We got a lot of projects bubbling up. And make sure you stay tuned after our show. We got the Danny Alvarez Oldie show coming up too.
Oh yeah.
He got his thing going on. You know, put y'all in the oldies feel. You know, get that rolling. So let's go ahead and finish off the show. That was a tribute to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in paradise.
And we will see y'all next week with the rest of the beef segment, man. This was the Boundless Hour with Danny Alvarez Productions and InternetCityLive.com.
And we'll see you guys next week.
We out.
Salud.